Right, let's see how this goes. Right, let's see how this goes. Right, let's see how this goes. Oh dear, just heard the duplicates. Well, I can mute everything now, so I know that works, so that's fine. And we're live for the first time. This is this is a new experience. Yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Just to test some things out, if you are in the chat, just if you could just send anything, any kind of message. To be fair, I know I'm opening myself up to a few things there, but if you could send anything, then I know that everything's working like it should be, it's coming through as it should be, and everything's all good to go. That's what happens when you do your first one. Let's take that out. Do that there. Tell you what, I'm in the chat, so let's have a look. Nope. Anyways, howdies. How's everyone's day going? Let's see where that pops up. Pops up there, pops up there. And hopefully that makes its way to the stream chat. Otherwise I've broke something. Yeah, it's not popped up on the chat box on the right hand side. Fantastic. Well, there was always going to be something that was technically wrong with this. Ah, well. That's fine. I can look into that. I can get that fixed for next time, so that's fine. Right, what time are we running on? Right, we are... Right, we do have 7 viewers in the chat and on YouTube at the very least, and I can't currently see the stats for Twitch, but welcome all to the stream. Welcome to the first ever Songs of Ray stream when it comes to First Descendants. So glad to have you all kicking around. Yeah, how's everyone's weekend treating them? Is there anything going on? A bit early. Got 2 in a bit minutes. Is there anyone doing a mission I can just pop into? Nah. No, well. Absolutely fine. Sound. How's everyone been finding Season 3 since it released? Guess nothing's going on over there. That's fine. There we go. Right, let's have a quick check of what's going on everywhere. So you know what, could probably even get a little bit of promotion going around. Yeah, fantastic. Just the dog in the background, just staring. I must admit, bringing an ultimate Blair to one of these fights is an interesting call. Let's get a nice early wall crusher out of the way then, shall we? Now, well, slightly admit that the chat box isn't working on the right hand side of the stream, so you will have to excuse that that's not going to be working. Oh, we're already in the fight. Fantastic. Hey, Eyes and Ford. Yeah, finally actually made the plunge and finally got around to streaming it. You know, it's one of those. I've just been having in the back of my mind about actually finally getting around to sorting it and finally actually let's say the courage, shall we, to actually finally give it a go. So we'll see how this goes. I could potentially do a stream at least once, maybe even twice a week. So that might be the plan going forward, but it's probably going to be more an as and when kind of deal. But I've always wanted to be able to speak with the people that, you know, pop in the comment section. It's one of those that I've been meaning to do for a while and just kind of put off, unfortunately. Anyway, how's your weekend going? Enough about me. There we go. That should be Probably close to a couple bill. I think we had another decent Serena by the looks of things. And we joined the fight a little bit late. Yeah, 2.4. Happy with that. And now that that's out of the way, I can now finally swap back to Nell and we can start leveling her up a little bit more. Maybe we'll keep that for now. Oh, fantastic. Oh, nice. Are you also going the Serena route, or are you actually trying something else out? I've seen a couple of people have been trying Valby. So there are a few other suggestions that can be used, but I do think Serena's probably the fastest and easiest way to get rid of Wall Crasher right now. I think the highest I've seen is a 3.7 bill run with Serena, and I think if I've seen it right, I haven't tested it myself, but I have seen has 4.7 billion health. So yeah, there's a few things out there. Right, so I think I want to keep doing this mission over here. Thank you so much there, Lynn and Rex, for the follow. I really appreciate that. How was your day going?
A large cluster of breach creatures has been detected in the air.
Well, if that is a genuine comment, so Lynn and Ren, then I do appreciate that. I'll feel free to. You can catch me on Discord over on YouTube. You can get the link over there. Probably should actually set up a bot at some point just to be able to encourage the Discord. Part of me thinks that isn't a real comment, but you know, just on the off chance, I suppose. There we go. Yeah, no, I'm with you, Eisenford. To be fair, for the longest time, I really put off using Serena. You know, as soon as she came out, I just went, you know what, I'm just refusing. I'm just going to pretend that she doesn't exist. But I've got to admit, for an 8-player Wall Crasher and for something that's causing people to, well, take up to like 20 minutes, I think I'd rather just save the extra 14 minutes and just run Serena. 22 model, Jesus. To be fair, I'm just trying to farm in for the components, because I really want to test out the new sets. Like, the trigger mods are great and all. Like, some are better than others, obviously, but... I'm experimenting with a new tech here, just by using this pod. I believe if you activate your spikes and then just spin around, you can actually do damage by swinging them around before you launch them. Just so stupid. So yeah, no, 100% I'm going to be adding this into my Nell guide when I get around to it later today. So how are you finding the new content then, as I thought? You enjoying Season 3? I'm personally enjoying Season 3, I think. Oh, also let me know if the audio is a little bit too loud. That's another thing I haven't fully tested, so if you do struggle to be able to make me out or anything like that, then yeah, let me know and I'll get that all tuned down. They did a great job with them, I think. That's a good call. Yeah, definitely spreading it out is a great thing, because it is going to take you a while to grind everything out. The fact that a lot of the items like the bikes and the weapons and the trigger mod cores and all that kind of stuff, everything seems to use like the same 4, 5, 6 kind of resources. So you're not going to be doing everything all at the same time. Oh, mid-air. So yeah, it is going to take a while. Ah, you've tried out Jaber. To be fair, I've yet to actually give him a go since he had his rework. I've seen some good things out in the community. I have seen that he is really strong against the... That's typically the roles that I'm looking for, and I need it on a bloody not a tribute tech. God damn it. Yeah, I've seen that he's done great work against the new Abyss boss. I think he's done takedowns in around about 1:20, I think. Which is kind of nutty to think that Jaber is actually better than, like, Keelan or something like that and being able to take him down. Which is kind of funny. What? I'm going to have to give him a go at some point. I just wanted to make sure that Nell gets done. And then move on to Jaber and actually see if this is the patch that he actually needed. But it sounds good. It sounds good. So, how much have you messed about with Jaber? Like, you're not thinking about maining him, surely? Surely we haven't got to that point just yet. Hey, Papa Peeps, how's it going? Ah, you've been running Freyna. I must admit, I tried Freyna out when I first dropped it, and I just found that the damage over time just took a little too long for my liking to be able to actually get the place. I think she's great for being able to, like, soften targets up and all that kind of thing. But I suppose this isn't meant to be solo content. This is supposed to be a case of you find the people in Axion and just get going. So yeah, Valby, Freyna, anything with damage over time is apparently really good in this section at the moment. now you're talking my language. If you're saying that he plays like Viessa now, I'm all for it. I'm a big fan of Viessa. Especially after the buffs that she got in Season 3, which is... I was not expecting to hear that at all. I'll quite happily take a J-Brobe and an Inez in Axion. Apparently the FPS drops, or people are reporting the FPS drops are down to the amount of like particles that Inez can produce. So yeah, I'll happily just save my PC and my game by not running Inez. So I think the current plan at the moment, in terms of my aim for farming, is to try and get all the resources to be able to make like one of the bikes, at least, and then I can start doing the time trials. But I also want to be able to make all these extra trigger mods for just available for everyone. There's like Sharon I want to try out, there's Viessa I want to try out. Oh god. Oh god. I'm low on health. I am very low on health. There we go. There we go. Yeah, do you know what? Really enjoying the content at the moment. You know, there was obviously the calls about Axion being like sparse and nothing to do and all that kind of stuff. I just get 100. Interesting. I've not had that drop before. Yeah, the trying to get all the trigger modules for all the, like I said, I want to mess about with VS, I want to mess about with Sharon, some of my favourite descendants and all that kind of thing. There's just so much, and the fact that the resources also go for the weapons. I haven't even started building a Razor just yet. I've got some blueprints and everything like that, but needing the actual things for it. Yeah, ain't happening time anytime soon. Running Nell now, mildly surprised. Yeah, to be fair, considering the demo that we had, I did think that she was going to be a little bit on the more tame side and everything like that, but no, she's absolutely fantastic, especially if you build her into crit and with the skills. But yeah, no, she doesn't feel overpowered, but she feels a lot of fun to be able to play, at least in my experience anyway. But that's just how I like to play, I guess. Also, the gap in time trigger module is kind of weird, then I realised that the mod's definitely designed for Luna. I'll tell you what, let's have a look. Do I have enough to be able to build one? No, I do not. Damn it. We'll farm this out a little bit more, and then we'll make another one, and then we'll actually have a look at that. And previous mission. I'll re-roll.
A large cluster of breach creatures has been detected in the area.
I mean, out of all the trigger modules and all that kind of thing, I must admit, this meteor summoning one on Nell is just kind of like... it takes 12 stacks to be able to summon down these 5 meteors on targets. It's based off your skill power, which you're going to be building into anyway. Does about a mil when it crits, which is more than what my skill is doing anyway. And the fact that you get 6 stacks just for casting a skill 1, which you can spam on a 1.3 second cooldown. I'm not entirely sure how they thought they were going to balance that one, in all honesty. Not OP out of the box, needs to learn the builds, that was good. Yeah, no, 100%, yeah. Like, they clearly intended it for it to be used with, like, the hand cannons, with the base kit, and, you know, all the weak points and all that kind of stuff. So she can be built firearm, 100%. But when your skills are doing this much damage, it's like... And the fact that it's this much AoE as well, it's like... I think it's more fun for the fact that she feels like a bit more of an involved mobber. You know, you got your Serenas and you got your Inneses where you just cast a skill and everything's just dead and all that kind of stuff. But you have to be consciously chucking your skills where you are with this one to be able to actually get the most out of them. So yeah, no, I like it. Yeah, it's good. I will say though, I've had to rebind my SC scan button because I was not pressing tab every single time just to be able to get this to spread. So that's my one tip. If you do plan on playing Nell a fair bit, make sure you rebind your SC scan if you're playing on PC. Otherwise, you will be giving yourself some repetitive strain injuries. So what's everyone's go-to descendant right now? What's not necessarily saying what's the strongest. What's your favourite to currently run? Doesn't matter regardless of kit or anything like that. Just run. Oh, there's also a web event. Oh, in that case, I have missed something. Tell you what, since you've done that, let's have a look and let's have a check out. Can't bring it up on the screen, but let's have a look. This is a game and dash steps. Use all your dash steps to collect all stage rewards. Okay, where are we up to? I have 52 dash steps, okay. I didn't even know I was doing anything, and I've already got 52 dash steps. Okay. So what's this reward info then? What can we get? Ooh, we can get spoilers boxes. Okay. I mean, that's some good stuff. Does this mean I'm going to finish it within, like, 52 moves? 250,000 Kuiper shards. Oh, I see. So when you get to the special ones, it takes 10. Oh, okay. I mean, some good stuff. 2.5 mil gold, just for a standard one. I mean, Lord knows I need that. I'm glad you pointed that out to me now, Eisenford. Absolutely, that is worth it. What do we hit for second special? 3 external component augmentation core boxes, 2 mutant cells. Ooh. I mean, it looks like if you get Nell and you complete a few of the things, you actually get quite a few movement spaces. Oh, they're literally just giving us rewards at this point. Another 2.5 mil gold. Oh, you're going to need loads to get to the final. So each of the special ones goes up by 5. So it starts 10, 15. I'm on to the one that's got 20, even I'm a little bit short. And you're going to need 25 and 30 by the looks of things. I mean, stuff for free. It's good stuff as well. The fact that you can get just 2 mutant cells just like that. Nice and easy. Well, definitely keeping that to one side. We can get rid of the old one. And we can put that one on. No, I appreciate you pointing that out to me. I genuinely had no idea. I've clearly missed that in the patch notes.
Changing mags.
Put that on there. There's a few people over by the other crater. Might be an idea to go do that one. Anyone else doing missions? No. Nah, we'll carry on doing this one then.
Descendant, a large cluster of breach creatures has been detected in the area.
So has anyone got any nice plans for the weekend? Obviously, you know, being Saturday and everything like that, so another day, but I mean, I'm expecting people to say not just grinding TFD, but you know, any like fun meals, fun events, anything that's new. Do a few on the farms and then we'll go and take on Stormhanger or whatever his name is. Gotta call them weekend. Sometimes they're the best weekends. You know, you just don't have to. You don't have any pressures to be able to go out and do anything. Of course, if you've got any questions for me, build theory, what I'm currently working on, all that kind of stuff, absolutely feel free to be able to ask me in this chat right now. I'll more than happy to discuss that kind of thing. Tell me what to. Oosh. To be fair, you've just reminded me again, Eisenford, that I'm supposed to be having that launcher in my third slot so I can start building up on it, but oh god. I just got juggled. Jesus, what am I doing? Yeah, I'm supposed to be having that on my third slot. I know it looks like I've left Ancient Knight in again. Because I'm supposed to be picking this up. You can ignore the toxic attack rolls. I would recommend building this into fire. The reason why it's got those is because I tried just rolling 2 blue cores, just 1 in each, and the first rolls that came through were gold rolls into toxic attack on both, and I just went, do you know what, I'll just leave that in there. And I've just left it there for now. It's I wouldn't recommend necessarily the toxic rolls, to be fair. It's just too much to ask for a tech reactor, isn't it, with skill cooldown and crit damage. Yeah, well. It's great for Glay. Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. The only thing I will say that I'm a little put off by, I like the idea of once this is at max ranks that we'll have the targeting time down to, I think it was like 0.05 seconds or something like that. It's almost instant, basically. So that would make it really, really good. To be fair, it's already like ammo efficient. The fact that you can target so many, because that goes up as well. You can target so many, and it only costs 1 single rocket just to be able to do the homing thing. Not bad. But yeah, the assault ship's taking 1,000 firearm damage is just kind of nutty. But, no, I can definitely see an argument to swap back and forth between that and the relic. I think the relic's probably going to be better, maybe mobbing wise, I would assume. But just because you can just free fire and it will just auto lock on anyway. But no, absolutely, Exterminator probably will also be... What are the stats on this, actually, compared to it? Where's my relic? There you are. Oh, it does way more damage. 163, yeah. Wow. The fact that they gave it the same kind of rolls as well. With like 2 greens, 2 blues, and then a free slot is fantastic as well. Ow. Right, what are we looking at for... I need to put this on favourites or something. Ugh. It's fine. Oh, I see. It's I've just noticed on the stream that it's just brought up the Twitch chat, but it hasn't brought up the multi-chat. Okay, so it's not fully broke. I do need to fix that though. I will get that one sorted. But that actually tells me roughly where I need to get started. Alright, let's go. Help these souls. Oh, this might get choppy. We've got two NSs. Oh dear. Oh, I'm so glad the PC can handle this. So we've got a few more viewers, especially over on the YouTube side of things, so if you have any questions about Nell, about what I'm doing in Season 3, about build crafting, anything along those kind of lines, feel free to actually put that in the chat. I'm more than happy to help chat it through and pass on expertise or knowledge or whatever I've discovered, by all means. Or heck, I'm even here just for a friendly chat, so tell me how your day's going. Up to 40. It is just impossible. Oh god, no, who activated it? See if we can dismantle this quickly. There we go. so oddly satisfying. Oh, 2 in 1. It's almost like you can understand why they're in the old gens. All this going on. Hey Tim, how you doing? It's clean up maintenance in between. It's getting tiresome in between rounds. I completely agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I was just caught out just trying to get rid of all the reactors. It's like they saw all the reactors that you can get on Sigma Sector and just went, do you know what? We need more of that. I will say I am going to complain about that, but in the same respect, you know, I'm also complaining about farming for things, and can't have it both ways, I suppose.
Primary tactical objective confirmed in Operation Zone. Please take it out.
Sweet. Now, can I be quick about it? There we go. Speed. How to speed run sorting reactors. In your opinion, is Nell worth investing in? Can I, for the life of me, get 2 other blueprints to drop? Absolutely. So, Jesus, well, you can see my mind has gone to mush. So Nell is... It depends on what you're going to use her for, I suppose. She's absolutely fine as like a firearm descendant, but I do think that we do have better firearm descendants. More specifically like Clay and all that kind of thing. Then we also have Backdraft Blair, who's able to still boost his own weak point damage up, but also boost up the base firearm attack of things, as well as boost up their crits and everything like that. I think Nell is an easier character to use in that case, if you go firearm. But I must admit, as soon as you get a red mod to be able to turn her into a skill build, I don't think you really need to go that route anymore, if that makes sense. Her skills just hit so hard. To the point of, I've managed to clear Store Hanger in about minute 20, I think I'm on the leaderboards for, minute 21. And I'm still yet to optimise that build. So there's like a few things I want to mess about with, see if I can push that further. So yeah, so like I say, it depends on what you want to make her into. But if you're going to be farming this area anyway, to be able to get like the new weapons, if you're going to be trying for the new bikes, all that kind of stuff, you might as well. That's basically the answer. I will say that they are giving away like free parts of Nell. So I'm a little bit not disappointed. You know, I'm still happy with my purchase and all that kind of thing, but I probably shouldn't have bought Nell, if that makes sense. Considering she's just that easy to get parts of. Why did that one die? So if you... I'll show you in the start menu after this mission. But essentially, you can get 3 parts for free, if I remember right. You just need to essentially wait. So if you're impatient like me, then yeah, go and buy it. But you know, if you get lucky on farming, you can faster, or you can just wait, and you get 3 of the 4 parts. I think it is. It's kind of stupid, really. But hey, I mean, we're farming less and less as this game goes on, I think. So I have seen some good things mentioned about her buffing build as well, and looking at it on paper, that could be interesting, especially if you combine with like a buffing Luna, maybe. We could be moving towards like a boss build in the sense, as in like we got 2 people doing the buffing, and it just requires on like 1 person just to be able to use a skill to be able to do all the damage. I'd absolutely love it if it was a case that it went back to like Lepic Mega Man kind of farming. Having a hard time soloing the Axion planes. Fair enough. What's your main character? Let's see if we can try and help and diagnose. See if we can give some helpful tips. There we go. Right, I'll tell you what. Let's head back to Albion. I can show you a couple of things that I've seen. I think essentially, you need to get lucky on 2 of the parts. So if I remember right, it's into the Axion planes. Yeah. So if you complete operational area operations, so if you complete this one here, you get given 2 random awards of Nell, so you'll get 2 pieces there. As far as I'm aware, they don't duplicate, or they didn't for me, but I suppose you could get unlucky, and if it, you know, it could always give you a duplicate part. But you should in theory get 2 parts there, so that reduces the grind by 50% already. And then there's also, which one is it? Axion Planes Breakthrough. Because it's a selectable reward, so on day 15, so 2 weeks from obviously when it launched, you'll get this, and you can choose any one of those parts. So in that case, you could choose the ones that you don't have. So that just leaves you down to 1 part left to be able to choose, and then essentially you can just farm that one. So they're kind of giving us the tools to be able to make sure that we don't necessarily have to pay for Nell. But, you know, feel free to, you know, like I said, you can grind out and then just see what you get by the time it gets down to day 15, and then you can just choose the last one and then just craft it, and then you'll be able to get Nell for essentially free, just for farming for 1 part, really. So yeah. And then once you get Nell, completing these just gives you so many. Well, it gives you 4 catalysts, which is kind of huge. Yeah, they're really giving us all the tools that we need to be able to actually maximise out our descendants in that case. And then Twisted Worship once again is making its way through for Serena. Gave up trying to get Old Glay. Her blueprint rate drop rate is brutal. It absolutely is. Her spent many days trying to farm them with 0 results. Been using Inez and Old Bunny. Fair enough. 2 fantastic characters. Oh god. You can now see all the rewards that I managed to get from that that web event that's currently going on. Some good stuff. What was that output me on? Almost 50 mil. Yeah, Inez is just Inez, let's be honest, at this rate. You know, you've got standard kind of setup and everything like that. This was my purge, but you probably would change hyper focus for something else because you're not necessarily going to be relying on the positioning of Kingsguard Lance. But I don't know why I clicked into that one, to be fair. There we go. So what could you swap that out for? Probably Vet Tactics, maybe. Probably is a good shout. Something to help you out a little bit more cooldown wise. To help with a skill 4. But yeah, I probably do need to unlock a trigger module slot to get the most out of her. What we got? Normal AoEs. And then bunny wise, it's just bunny. I'm going to be trying this one out. Weirdly enough, Gap in Time. It's. I was having a chat with this about it with someone yesterday. It's really interesting that they've made it inversely proportional to like skill cooldown. So the more heavily you invest into skill cooldown, the less likely you're actually going to get this additional damage. It's really interesting that they've done that way. Especially seeing as we primarily gear all of our characters up to skill cooldown cap most of the time, but you can with bunny you obviously can get away with that. But this is probably what I would recommend inside of Axion. But of course there are variants that do exist and everything like that. So Gap in Time is just going to essentially make you a little bit more potent when it comes to your lightning emission, as well as your electric condense by the looks of things. So, but yeah, I mean let's be honest. Axion is catered and designed to be able to actually make it a little bit more difficult. It's not supposed to be as hard as Purge, but it is supposed to have some kind of degree of challenge. I kind of like it. I think they've done a really good job so far on that. But I'm really liking the changes that they've done with Viessa. So yeah, you could still use normal Glay if you do have normal Glay. Sorry, going back to what I'm supposed to be talking about, sorry. If you do have normal Glay, because most of the builds don't gravitate around specific mods to Ultimate Glay, so in this case, where do I have her? There she is. Predator Instinct is one of the main mods that most people in the community will actually tend to rock. You will see people either use this or just knock this off, but you can use this in normal Glay as well, just to be able to help you out with farming and everything like that. She is still fantastic inside of Axion, especially if you've got a relic already sorted out, especially if you have your Last Dagger, especially if you have your Albion Cavalry Gun. Basically all the meta choices when it comes to your weapons. She's still absolutely fantastic when it comes to farming. So if you do have her, absolutely feel free to be able to go back and forth on those. But if, like I say, if you got any questions about Inez or Alt Bunny, or if you're asking if would you prefer one mod over another, feel free to fire it my way. I'm more than happy to help people out. The more people we've got enjoying the game, the better, really. So, right, let's. Oh. Oh, come on. You either get crit damage or cooldown, but you never get both. Thanks, game.
Magisters are probably humanity's real hope.
Okay, so can I make another refined thing? Is there anything else? Oh, I have 3 parts of the Orca. Should have started building that instead of the Vortex. I probably need these more. Let's go with this. Let's do that. Right, what time are we looking at? It's 13:54, so that means I'm going to start seeing things pop into here. I just want to say I really appreciate everyone that's popped into chat and popped into view the stream and everything like that. You know, being a first time and all that kind of thing, it's really does mean a lot. You will take some time out of your day to pop in here and say hi. Oh, as if he dodged them. As if he dodged that. Will we get there in time? Oh, plenty. Main is spending new, got a decent build on it, but ran out of catalyst trying to level own weapons up. And to be honest, I'm trash at trying to strengthen components, reactor cores, rolls. I mean, fair enough, self-aware. Yeah, I mean, they always catered, and they did make this kind of aware that this was always going to be an area to be for fully level characters for going into that kind of side of things. So don't be worried about going back into like Sigma Sector or anything like that to be able to get yourself leveled up or anything. You know, that's absolutely fine. You absolutely should be. So yeah, just worry about farming some catalysts. Even with some of the events that are currently going on, there's also a few, you know, not trying to promote that you should be spending money on the game and all that kind of thing, but there are a few great bundles that do offer like tens of catalysts and all that kind of thing. So if you are after those kind of resources, that does exist inside the shop. You know, everyone's situation is different. I mean, heck, if you can find like yourself a nice group to be able to run inside of Axion as well, it will actually drop like full catalysts sometimes, which is actually kind of cool to see. I have seen at least 2 to 3, I think, since I've been playing, so it's not like it's really common, but it does have the opportunity to be able to drop you a full like set ready to be able to craft catalysts inside this area as well. So this is a really good place to be able to farm pretty much most things. Right, we'll swap that to Serena, see what kind of damage we can actually cover out of this. Because I think if I can get close to another 3 bill again on this, then I'm happy making the build guide for this and going and suggesting this out. Thoughts on Wall Crusher? I think it's actually a really good event to actually add in. I mean, to be fair, bit of a bullet sponge, not many mechanics and all that kind of thing, but I think if they took this and then expanded upon it, fantastic addition to TFD as it currently stands. Actually activate my core. Notice something. I think you have this trigger module and it can't take away 2 stacks. It might be a case that you actually do have increased weak point damage, as long as you can sit on one. Let's see if I get to 1. Paying too much attention to it. Quickly over check my stats. Yeah, that's quite tasty. .6. I think we did have a really good other Serena going around, but that is over half in an 8-man activity. So there we go. Almost forgot the wall crash eyes thought. Ah, I mean, gotta do it every hour. 100%, you gotta do it every hour. I've got to get these new component sets. I have to do it every hour. Hi Percy, crashing is a huge problem now, especially when playing cloud gaming. I have had a couple of crashes myself, to be fair, so I do understand and do feel that. It's like it's weirdly become a little bit less stable, but I think, I'm not 100% on this, but I have heard reports that that is down to Inez existing and constantly spamming their abilities and all that kind of thing. So if you see an Inez, it's very touch and go about if that actually is going to be staying and being actually working for you. Since I've been playing Nell and running fairly solo, but I've seen a few other people play Serena and also Inez, no, sorry, not Inez, Glay, and staying away from Inez. It's been a little bit more stable for me. I don't know if that's related. It could just be pure coincidence, but that does seem to be potentially what's going around in the community. Eisenford Hope Wall Crusher has a no-fly zone. Absolutely should add in an ability to be able to hit people in the air, because it does all the things for like the lasers to be able to punish people on the ground. It's got all those area denial zone like pylons. It does like a massive earthquake on the floor when it does stomp. It really punishes people on the ground, and it's almost like the fighter was built for. Sorry, so there should be some kind of mechanic that. Like, or some kind of attack or something like that that happens for a certain amount of height in the environment. I think it would encourage Serenas to be more mindful about their kind of positioning and all that kind of thing. Tim, we get to stay down the wall crush always right in time. To be fair, the first couple of times that I ran it, absolutely had the exact same thing. If it wasn't for the fact that I did try out Serena and then started seeing what's currently going on in the community, how people have been running and everything like that, I think everyone would have been failing. But it's one of those, isn't it? Eisenford no drops. They need to fix that bug. I know they put in a hotfix to be able to potentially sort it, but I've still heard people still having issues with getting their drops and everything. What is Serena build? Absolutely, feel free. So this is one that I'm planning on covering a video. If it's not done today, but I think I might go for Nell today. If it's not done today, then it will be for Monday, probably. But this is essentially the setup that I'm currently using. So we want to be able to go for cooldown... Oh, typical loading screen. Should have actually gone back to Axion. I'll ping it back up, don't worry. It's more the Ancient Knight build that really kind of puts the extra damage into it all. Because I was testing it with things like Albion Cavalry and Fallen Hope, and they just weren't anywhere as good as the Ancient Knight, which is why I then built it the way I did. So this is the build, so we do go for him. Him is there to give buffs to other characters, so the people that are going to be around us, because everyone's primarily going to be in front of Wall Crusher to be able to hit the weak points. You can quite reliably keep this fully going, so everyone gets their nice extra movement speed. But it also works really, really nicely with that of the gun that we are going to be using. Kuiper Hollow Points, I do need to do some more testing on this one, but from what I've seen, it seems to keep one stack if it can't remove 2 per weak point stack, so as you can see at the bottom there. So if you do have that, that's an extra 8% weak point damage by the looks of things that you're just going to consistently just kind of keep. It's very hard to be able to keep this constantly going, but that's what it says to me, and that's something that I will be testing before I actually put the video out, because I do want to make sure that is actually the case. But if that is the case, then you do want to be able to have an odd number of stacks, and then if you can keep one, you'll always have that extra 8% weak point damage, which stacks up and stacks up and stacks up. Fantastic. Final Wish is going to be a mainstay. You will see this in quite a few builds around the community. The reason why is because you will be doing less damage when it comes to... if you were... Well, actually, I don't think a skill 4 actually does any skill point skill power damage. It's all based on firearm damage with your HP, so the extra skill power doesn't actually mean anything to this, so the reduction is just kind of null and void. But the skill cost is huge, especially when you combine that with maximize conservation. So we're getting like, what, over 70% skill cost reduction, which is kind of nutty. That allows us to be able to just consistently stay in the air for as long as we can. We go for cooldown, we go for duration, we go for HP to be able to get, so we get more damage with our skill 4. And as you can see here, the cooldown is 20 seconds, and the duration of the ability is 24, so 100% uptime of that. You do want to run 2 pieces Sending, 2 pieces Shell Crusher, so you have better rate of fire. And you also have some extra skill cost, so we're pushing closer to 80% skill cost reduction right there. Skill duration up, which I do need to maximise this out, but skill duration up and skill cooldown. The reactor itself doesn't really matter, because we're not going to be using the skill power side of it. And then lastly, when it comes to the weapon that you want to use, it is absolutely Ancient Knight. I did try Fallen Hope, just to give you an idea of what kind of build I did have. So this is what I was trying out. I think I did swap this one off to go for multi-circulation. And it was able to get to around about 223% multi-hit chance, I think it was. So it had a chance to be able to apply multi-hit damage 3 times. But the multiplier was much lower than what Ancient Knight was able to put out. So this is the build that I currently run on Ancient Knight. So the rolls Fire attack, fire rate, double firearm attack cause, and then also into multi-hit damage. The reason why is because we're going to be stacking up with the unique ability. So as these, because they are plus, because they're additive boosts, they will get added into the base damage of what the gun can already do for multi-hit, so which is going to be there. So it is adding to the base. And then we've also got some additive stuff when it comes to the rolls here, so as you can see here. And then once it's fully stacked up, once we've actually gone through all of the modules that we do have here, including like multi-hit chance and multi-circulation to be able to give us all that multi-hit damage, that's what allows us to be able to get up to, I think it was just like a 6.5x multi-hit damage multiplier. But because you can increase the chance to around about 200%, every single hit is hitting for that, and then it's also applying it a second time on top of it. So it more works out to be around about like a 12% damage increase. Sorry, not 12%, 12x damage increase. It's crazy. So yeah, so this is the kind of setup that you do want on Ancient Knight. You know, increasing your chance, increasing your damage. Rounds per magazine is to be able to stop you from dashing so much, so you don't have to be spending your MP ridiculous amounts. It allows it so the cooldown does come back on it, so you don't have to just constantly be waiting around for dashes to come back. But yeah, everything here is pretty much best in slot, I believe, at least in my testing. And then, like I said, yeah, once you combine it with all the cores, I've not hit lower than 2.5 bill in this setup going into Wall Crasher. Of course, that does depend on, you know, that does depend on, like, obviously, like, other Serenas and everything like that. If you've got, like, a proper team comp going on, all that kind of thing, you know, you might get under 2.5 bill, but I've yet to, in public lobbies with this kind of setup, hit under 2.5. The most I've hit is 3.7, which means that there's still, like, an extra bill for the other 5, 6, 7 players to actually kind of contribute to. So yeah, so this is the kind of setup that you do actually want. But yes, there will be a video like breaking it all down, doing a little bit more testing and all that kind of thing. But yeah, that's essentially what I kind of currently run. Don't have Ancient Knight. It was always a solid gun for Serena, but when it came to like Purge and all that kind of thing, you found that Malevolent was the better kind of situation to go for, to be able to apply your skill for. And then when it came to area kind of effect, then it was going to be Restore Relic. Now, because it is one big massive target and it really benefits from the single target damage, Ancient Knight is just head and shoulders above everything. So yeah, I've tried it with Albion Cavalry, I've tried it with Fallen Hope. Fallen Hope has the biggest multi-hit damage multiplier, I think, which would make it, you know, you would think would be the best in slot, but Ancient Knight, because it has that stacking up effect and everything, is the best in slot. It is just kind of nutty as to how much damage it can do. Inversion Reinforcement, absolutely would recommend that you do go for Strike Point Amplification, going for Firearm Control Mechanism, because this is going to give you extra multi-hit damage, and if you get lucky, it's also going to increase your multi-hit chance, so you have even more chance of being able to apply the damage 3 times instead of just 2 times. And then Fire Focus Rounds, because it's already built into Fire, and then we've got these extra capstones for Area Burst Inducer and Enhanced Focus Rounds, so you're doing even more damage on top of that. So yeah, it is 100% worth the farm. You can get it in Sigma Sector. I think it's Broken Boundary, is it? Yeah, so all 4 pieces can be farmed in Broken Boundary. So yeah, and then on top of that you also get your Mutant Cell boxes. The fact that they've upped these rewards and everything like that is fantastic as well. So it is absolutely worth getting yourself a gun out of there as well. So yeah, it pays to have all the guns built up, especially when they just randomly drop hotfixes and just go, oh, this one's now buffed up to insane degrees. But yeah, you can, like I say, you can still get away with Albion Cavalry, you can still get away with Fallen Hope. So, you know, in the meantime, you're absolutely fine. But if you are looking for the most amount of damage, if you're looking for the fastest way to get the clears, Ancient Knight is pretty much the way going forward. Check something. I can get rid of this one. Do you know where the inversion resets every few rounds? Got to re-unlock everything multiple times. When you say rounds, do you mean like every season? Because obviously they are making a few changes for seasons and stuff like that. Or are you talking? Are you talking per descendant? Because it does seem that you have to go. You will get the same amount of energy, but then you will change it on that going forward as well. Any advice on a Serena mobbing build for Axion planes? Absolutely. So if I swap back to Serena, there's a reason why I do have Restored Relic on this one, because that's going to be one of the main mobbing guns that I would try to go for. The Zestras, we can actually take that off. That was just something I was messing about with for Wall Crasher, but if you're going support, then you can mess about with that one. Malevolence is still a fantastic option as well to be able to run, because all the cogs are still going to be bouncing around, still triggering your skill 4, everything along those lines. You can always go for the slam ability instead. Sorry, excuse me. There we go. So you can mess about with like MP Collector, Divine Surge to be able to apply all the extra fiery goodness. If you do manage to get the trigger modules, I've yet to actually have a look into this one. But we can see that Arcade League Battering Ram. Ooh. Oh, interesting. That could be a fun one to be able to mess around with. Power Beyond's also pretty solid by the looks of things. Being able to apply tow, so obviously the more enemies that you can actually hit, and then pull them all into your damage over time and everything like that. Also, the skill power increase is quite substantial, especially if you get a gold roll like this. I've yet to try Arcane League, but I imagine that's probably not too bad. I've yet to mess about with the skill side of things when it comes to the mobbing, but especially since we've got the like the trigger modules and all that kind of thing. But that's something I will be messing about with in the background. But I mean, to be fair, Power Beyond is just already a great slot in. So if you just be able to do that, and that increases your skill power just as basic, and then every 4 stacks, you'll then be dragging enemies into the blaze that you leave behind. So there's a few different ways that you could go about it. Mobbing wise, you know, I probably will change this one because I do think that Final Wish is probably better than Multi-Talented now. But this is like the general kind of like setup that you do want to go for. And then if you can go for Restored Relic, you can spam away. Going for Expand High Power Magazine will mean that if you do run a 4-piece into Ascending Armory, you will then get more of your ammo into reserves. Same with Arcade Tuning. If you do go for... looks like I've changed this slightly. But if you go for something along this kind of lines, and increase the amount of Enhanced Max rounds that you do have, that will also increase the amount of ammo that you'll get restored every single time as well. So there's a few different ways that you can build into it. You know, she's quite flexible, so absolutely feel free to be able to rock whatever gun you want to be able to do. If you do build into range anyway, this is going to be hitting and doing most of the mobbing for you. So, you know, can't really go wrong with Serena in most cases. What do I think of the new Executor launcher? To be fair, I need to fully level it up. So mine is currently sitting at here. So proficiency level 33. You can see the stuff that I've already decided I'm gonna go for. I do think that multi-hit's probably the best way to be able to go for, because if you have a look at the stats, crit rate is only 10%, which you're not going to be boosting unless you're going for like a firearm, like a crit-based descendant like Haley or like Blair or something like those. The damage, even then, is still not really worth the payoff with just a 15%. And then weak points just do. You're not going to be hitting weak points anyway. So multi-hit's probably going to be the best way to be able to go for this kind of gun. I mean, the damage is respectful. I think it's pretty good. The unique ability being able to split all that damage out, though, it's kind of interesting. I think it'll make more sense once it gets fully catted out, once it's got like to 4 out of 4 when it comes to its unique ability. I don't think it's a bad gun. I don't think it's going to be replacing the Relic, though. I think everyone's still going to be gravitating towards the Relic for like mobbing purposes. I think it's fine for for Axion planes. I think it's fine for the season. It's nothing special, I guess. I was really hoping it would have something a little bit more going for it as well. I will say, in its defense though, and one thing I do really like about it is that if you do lock on, and I think this can go up to like 6 or 8 targets with the like the seasonal effect and everything like that, firing one shot when you've got that lock on is just costing you one single rocket, and that's actually really, really good as an effect. So I do think that's worth it from that side of things. It's going to be really ammo efficient and everything like that. It's going to save you so much ammo. You're not going to be running around looking for heavy ammo as much as you normally would. So I think it's good for that. But outside of that, I think it's just a little bit too niche. But I'll fully build it out. I'll see what it's going like first, and then take it from there before I actually make like full-on decisions. See the relic build? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the relic build's this one. So this one I initially built up for... Sorry, excuse me. This one I initially built up for the Sprinkler Enzo build. So it can still land critical hits, it just won't do any extra damage. But the reason why we're going for this side of things for the mobbing is because we want to increase our explosion radius, increasing our max high power rounds. This mod, in combination with your arcade tuning, allows you to be able to get even further like increases in your reserves, and then that means any kind of like restoring like the Axion dog, like the dog effect, so that's going to be giving you ammo. If you are going to be using ascending armory, things along those lines, anything that's going to be refunding you ammo is going to give you more in your stock because of that. But yes, you absolutely do want to go into like multi-piercing sights and multi-percussion sight, so you can actually land the multi-hit, because multi-hit's actually pretty decent when it comes to Restore Relic. Passing using the Exterminator on Glade, like I said, I think it's an okay gun. I just don't, I can't see it replacing Relic, but you know, you've probably got a little bit more playtime than I do when it comes to it. I'm still leveling mine up, so you know, if you've got some insight on it, I'm all ears. I'm more than happy to. You know, heck, I'll even eat my own words if I'm wrong on it. You know, it's just from an outside perspective, I think it's just mediocre. Probably the same with the new scout rifle that's coming out as well. It's going to be a Razor, I think it's called. Like, it doesn't look bad. I mean, heck, like style-wise, not bad at all. I like the little cables that are going for it and everything like that. The crit rate for a scout rifle, it seems a little bit on the low side. I've got to be honest. For 18%, it's just kind of like neither here or there. The weak point's fantastic. 3.55x is definitely something you can work with. It's just a bit weird that the crit's a little bit low, and the multi-hit doesn't really kind of make up for it. But, I mean, you know, the damage might be there. The fact it's going to go into toxic is probably a good thing for it. So, as we'll see. The unique effect sounds fine, but we'll have to see what it's like at 4 stacks. I know we got to see it in the demo, but I can't remember exactly what it was. But nothing really strikes me as like it sounds fantastic when it comes to like the weapons and all that kind of thing that they've released in this season. And it's a bit of a shame because we've had some really good weapons recently. Like, you know, Excava's really made its way into like meta. Ancient Knight is current meta for taking down Wallcrasher. ATAMS was already meta because it was that. Kingsguard Lance is now fantastic, especially inside a Purge. Secret Garden's always been that stat stick that's always worth being able to use. Albion Cavalry. There's a lot of things that have been brought into the meta, and it just feels like they've gone a little bit too tame with the current weapons. I don't know. Like I said, that's purely on paper. I do want to be able to build them out and give them a proper try before I definitely go. Yeah, that's definitely the case. Tim, you're extremely helpful and engaging. My sub, wow, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know, at the end of the day, I'm here to be able to like make some content to help people out, to be able to enjoy the game and all that kind of thing. So you know, if I find any kind of expertise, there's no point in me holding on to it. Might as well pass it on to other people so they can enjoy it. But that's always been my kind of view on the thing. So no, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Right, let's.
I've picked up a mutant material
I know I was having a look
signal
at.
to the skies nearby.
I kind of want to try this. Tell you what, let's try this in Purge. Rebel dot, hit an enemy, max stacks, creates an amorphous and just does the toe. But it gives me extra skill power. Have I got a better... Well, there's a 14%. Oh, there's a 15%. Fantastic. There we go. Extra skill power. Cool. Still leveling Exterminator up also. It's good for those ships and mission bosses. Fantastic. I mean, like I said, perfect for what this season is supposed to be doing. Not sure how it works for Colossi. Well, I wonder if it does lock on to the weak points. Like I said, it's the fact that you have to get the lock on to be able to do that damage, and then it cuts the damage to 43%. Yeah, it could be the way. If it hits if it locks on and hits every single weak points, then okay, I'd probably see a go for it. But you know, it's still early days. I mean, heck, the update's only been out for like 2 days, so we'll see. Right, let's try this out in Purge. Let's see if this has made VS any better. I've got good hopes. I've got high hopes that this is going to be... let's see what's going on here. Nah, nothing new, nothing important. Ooh, I like this format. It's quite... Oh, it was a little bit early. Feels good with that. Oh, I've just realised I haven't even got the other reason to be able to use the supposed to have enhanced focus rounds on. So I should be doing even more damage than this. Oh. It's just a random exploder one. God damn it. Decent damage. Oh dear. Right. Oh no, I just haven't unlocked it, that's why. There we go. Hey, American Primates. No, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's do you know what? It's got, apart from the one technical issue that exists on the page right now, which is the chat is just purely showing Twitch and is not showing YouTube. Apart from that, it's actually gone quite well. So I'll definitely be doing a few more, I think. let's see what this is like now I've actually got that done. No, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. Basically, a season new in TFT, getting a little bit of a great, still clueless on the most technical stuff. If it wasn't for the pesky job, I have more time to play. Tell me about it. Absolutely, tell me about it. You know, I'm seeing all these people that get to do. Oh, I can build it up. Ooh. I can see the other content creators that get to do this full time. Oh, it just makes me a little bit jealous, in all honesty. Like, I'd have so much more time for testing and everything like that if it wasn't for the fact that I got the day job, but day job pays the bills. Oh god. Thought I saw it exploding. I think I just stood in some fire that exists in the air. I suppose I had got to sleep. May you have a smooth. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for stopping by. Really does mean a lot. So hope you have a nice sleep and enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's a bit smoother. Hey Rambo, how are you liking the new season? Do you know what? Really enjoying it. Don't know if it's hot take in the community just yet, but honestly, I'm genuinely liking the new farm. I'm liking the new power level that exists. New content does feel pretty solid. I mean, I will say I'm a little bit, not miffed is the wrong word, but to know that you have to basically play Serena to get really good wall crasher clears kind of sucks. But do you know what? I can put up with that for the time being, just because I am enjoying what they're giving. Yeah, VS feels pretty good. Happy with that. If anyone's interested in copying the build, that is the current build that is my go-to for all VSO when it comes to Purge. It's yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with that. That's a substantial increase. Right, let's go back to Albion. How's everything your way then, Rambo? Have you farmed anything out? Have you managed to farm anything? Because I must admit, being able to have every single drop as like a minimal chance on every single mission is just kind of blowing my mind. I wish they kind of spread it out a little bit, but hey ho. Tim, yeah, unfortunately during the week, most days after work is game maintenance. Yeah, there may be some invasions, then it's off to bed, work and repeats, and the weekend I get a full day to overwhelm my senses. Well, hopefully I'm not distracting you too much away from your farming kind of time and all that kind of thing. It's,
If there's something you need, you'll need to pay.
right, who do I put this on now? All good, currently farming those last part. Fantastic. You take it you've got lucky with some of the drops. I mean, at the very least, in 2 weeks' time, well, less than 2 weeks' time, you'll actually have guaranteed Nell. But that's that's up to you if you want to wait that long. Next vehicle choice, jetpacks for non-fly descents. Found. I mean, yeah. Why is Serena the only one that can currently fly? Take that away from her. She should stop being so unique. I wonder what. I do enjoy Blair. I wonder what I would put on Blair. Or do I go for Freyna? So many choices. Oh no, I said I wanted to do Sharon. Yeah, let's go get Sharon then. Which fire you can target loot farmer from the Teeth missions on Axion? Got a lot faster. Fair enough then. I think everyone's still trying to experiment with that side of things as to... We'll skip that. Right, what can we put in on Sharon? Ivan, give me 1 second. I will come back to your question right there. But what do we have here? Hits an enemy, deals additional damage. Is it just arcane? Oh no, we do have. Using continuous damage. Arcane leak is active, hitting an enemy. Consumes MP. Skill power modifier increases proportion to the difference between current MP and max MP. Okay. I kind of want to try that. It's going to be better than Gap in Time. Gap in Time would be a really nice boost. But we're looking to hit skilled cooldown cap with Sharon. So that means that we'd only have a 10% chance of being able to trigger additional damage. Whereas Arcade Leak is going to reduce our skill cost by the looks of things. And increase our skill power modifier. Probably best in slot. We'll go with Arcade Leak. How would you recommend 100% uptime on Redemption but without multi-talented? Absolutely. If I swap over to Serena, you can see that we do have a cooldown of 20 seconds and the duration of 24 seconds. Now this is achieved through going for Focus on Fire, or it can be any focus mod really, because you're not really going to be doing like your skill power side of things or anything like that. But Focus Fire makes sense because she is a fire-based ascendant. So Focus on Fire. Focus on Singular, once again, can be replaced with anything because you're not necessarily going to be doing damage. So make sure you just have the two Focus on mods. We also have Nimble Fingers and MP Conversion. That's going to give us our skill cooldown of 74.3%. Final Wish is going to be obviously your skill cost, so make sure that you stay in the air. And then on your 74.3%, we then also have an extra 7.2% with our reactor. Reactor once again can be anything because we're not going for any kind of skill power or anything like that, so you can go there. And we don't pick anything else up. I think that just caps us at 81.5% skill cooldown, and then by increasing our duration on our 4 through maximize duration skill extension, as well as the increase to the skill duration up on our reactor, that's how we're able to get 100%. So there is like a little bit of leeway, considering that we do have 4 seconds of gap between like once it comes back off cooldown and then how much duration we still have left over. So there is still, you don't necessarily need the full kind of extent of that, if that makes sense. But if you manage to hit everything up to max cap and everything like that, then that's what it should show for you. So yeah. So like for example with the reactor, even if you have blue rolls, that should still be enough when it comes to like cooldown or duration up, because we've got that little bit of leeway to be able to mess about with. But that's how you get your 100% uptime with that. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit from there. It says no blueprint drops are only from spores boxes. Not sure what that means. I think it may be doing it wrong. The target loot is going to be if we go to library, if we go to descendants, if we go to Nell, and then we go to that. So you can set it as target rewards here. So if there's one specific mission that you're looking to be able to get done, just keep in mind that these spoils boxes, as you can see, have a 6.25% for every single item that currently exists in there. But then you've also got here as well. Madroxide TV is now following. Thank you so much for the follow. Really do appreciate that. Hope you're well. You can set these enhanced cell blueprints from the rotating rewards by the looks of things. So you can set those as target rewards. And that's how you get the certain items as well. So, yeah, so we do have that. To be fair, come to think of it, I'm half tempted just to set these spoils boxes on target rewards at the very least, because then should still be getting items out of this anyway. But you'd have to specify one specific mission that you're just going to constantly farm over and over again. So if in this case, if I wanted first crater, so that was a target reward. Oh, actually, hold on. Ooh. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they've changed this. Hold on. That fills me with hope. I think they have actually changed this, because it used to be a case that, for example, inside of so for the mutant cell box, they've changed that as well. Fantastic. It used to be a case that if you set this up as a target reward, you just had the one, and you had to farm that one mission over and over and over and over. So, for example, I just kept doing Isolated Desert over and over and over, and now it's a case that they've actually made it across every single activity that can actually drop it. So that's a fantastic change. I didn't notice that was a thing. So actually, I've learned something new this stream. So yeah. Oh, Madroxide is aware of it. Fair enough then. So clearly, I have not read enough of what I should have been doing. But saying the ones with the teeth, if we go to here, so we got the blueprint loot at 20% chance. That's going to be dropping them for you. Yeah, well, it says 20% chance there as well. Hold on. That's fair enough. Either way. So yeah, so there's a few things that you can set up. So I'm actually kind of glad that I've now got that blueprint loot set up, because I'm going to need that. It's recommended to target the spoils, RK, and vehicle boxes. That way, anything you do in Axion, your target farm is 100%. Do you know what? I kind of wish I'd actually noticed that before now. So I'm glad that people have actually popped into the chat now to be able to let me know that's the thing. I thought there was something to it, but I was always stuck in my ways that it was, I've got to find that one mission that I need to constantly do over and over and over again. And it turns out that's not actually the case, so I do appreciate that people have pointed me in the right direction. So now we've got Orca, Vortex, and Blueprint all set up, and these will all start building their way up as we start doing some of the missions. So if you are looking to be able to go into Axion, absolutely, this is something that we should be doing. So, yep. Cool. So we've got a little bit of time. I am going to quickly pop to the loo, and then I will be back in a second. So don't go anywhere. It cannot be overstated how much I blooming hate, like, headset hair. Like, just the fact that it caused a band here and then just sticks it up like that. It's just, honestly. And then I go and stick it right back on and just go do the exact same thing. So Passy's already done those, fantastic. Not really looking more grinding. Yeah, it's, unfortunately, that's the way of the game. It's, I would say that they're not going to hand things out to you, but let's be honest, they've actually handed a lot of things out to us recently, so I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. Right, what I want to do... remember, any frame tips for damage? I'm struggling to solo Axion. Right, I'll tell you what, let's swap over to Freyna. I did main Freyna for quite a while. See what we've got going on. Obviously, inversion-wise, Area Burst Inducer is going to be fantastic. It's just going to be something that you can just do with your skills and everything like that. You just apply extra damage multipliers and all that kind of thing. We do also have access to Enhanced Focus Rounds once again. So that's something you can absolutely burst down. So if I just activate those two. We do want to be able to get Quantum Domain as well, if we can get that active. Do we have... No, we're one short. One short. But that would be really good. Self-recovery is actually a really good capstone this season. Really, yeah, absolutely solid. Definitely a really good thing in the pinch to be able to actually use. I must admit, I've yet to actually take her out into Axion, so we could actually go and do that just a little bit. I will say that we don't necessarily need to do the speedrun build, which is the one that I tend to kind of like gravitate towards, mainly because we're just kind of like staying in an area. So Venom Synthesis can absolutely be taken off. Probably would... Yeah, I did that, so I just need to rename this one. If you want to go for a red mod, I'm messing about with Toxic Stimulation. It's one I'm trying. I can't say that I'm confident enough to be able to say that this is the one that you should be using or anything like that. If I change that back to tier so we can actually have a look at some of the red mods. Venom Injection would be pretty solid, but you would have to go full shield build to really get the most out of that. Contagion is going to be a no-go, I think, just purely for the fact of how much they're able to... Literally, as soon as I say that, Madroxide then pops up saying still goes hard in Axiom from my testing. Fantastic. You could not time that any better. I was going to say the reason why I don't think Contagion is going to be any good is because it takes away so much of your damage multipliers. I think it would be really good if you could like consistently secure the kills and everything like that. But I'd kind of rely... You lose out on your Toxic Puddle, you lose out on your Panic and all that kind of thing. You just have to rely on your Broom Zero Trauma. And I don't know if I can bring myself to do that. If I send game name, would you take a look at my build? Yeah, absolutely, feel free. Yeah, I've got no problems doing that. Yeah, and if you're happy with me doing that, sure. Plague is still pretty much go-to. Power increase with Plague, especially combined with Toxic Amp and everything like that. The only thing Contagion struggles with is the boss kills in Axiom, but the hand cannon fixes that. Fair enough. That's absolutely fair enough. I can't argue with that then. I haven't tested it. I do need to be able to unlock a trigger module slot as well, so... I mean, we could take her into a couple of things and just see if we can actually farm it out and everything like that before the next Wall Crusher decides he wants to crash into the party and all that kind of thing. Do I want skill extension? That's going to be a question. No, I'm already range capped. I don't want that. Don't need the extra duration, but I am getting duration from here. Maybe I do want to keep duration. To be fair, the only thing I would replace that with is probably Spear and Shield, so I'd only get a little bit more extra skill power. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I really need to... We'll take this out for a couple of runs. We'll have a look. Let's replace Voltia with... Let's put Zestras or Perforator? Zestra, Perforator. We'll go Perforator. You're gonna have to bear with me on this, Ghost, because I must admit this is the only time I've ever actually had to do it with someone in chat, so I assume this is the right place to go. Let's have a look. That worked out quite nicely. Managed to look my way into it. Alright, so we're running Plague Set, fantastic start. We've definitely got all the HP that's going to be coming from those. We've got our component cores going for us and some really nice gold rolls as well, so really good luck there as well. When it comes to Reactor, yeah, I mean, I'd probably argue a skill cooldown, but let's be honest, if you're going for Contagion, it's going to be spreading around anyway. So you don't necessarily need the skill cooldown. You probably could get away with a tech skill power boost ratio instead of the additional skill attack when attacking Legion of Darkness, but Legion of Darkness does exist, so, you know, neither here or there. The main thing is that, I can't see your mountings, but I assume it is mounted to your Secret Garden. That's the important thing. Sprint speed's on there, sprint speed with grapple hook as well, fantastic. So we're all good from that side of things. It's going to drop into here. Okay, I take it you haven't fully catalysed Freyna out as it currently stands, because that would explain why we do have some missing slots. So, what could we add in here? You've got your cooldown, which is fantastic. Decimator's also pretty nice in there, so that does actually work. Power increase in combination with the Plague Set, fantastic. That's one of the best ways to be able to increase the amount of damage that Freyna can actually do. I've already hand tested that. Probably got some videos on the channel somewhere that actually does back all that up. So, got that skill expansion with amplification control, allows you to be able to hit up to your range cap, I imagine, with your arcade tuning. Unfortunately, I can't see that, but that's fine. Oh, sorry, wrong Freyna. Not a problem. I'll tell you what, I'll... There we go. Perfect. Everything looks pretty solid. I mean, I'm more of a not using skill simplification kind of guy, but to be fair, skill simplification is still absolutely fine to be able to be used. In fact, it will probably just eke out a little bit more damage due to those multipliers and all that kind of thing, so that's absolutely fine. So that's probably more of a personal preference kind of thing going on there. Skill extension, yeah, it's fine. It's like I said, I was just talking about it. It's still an absolutely fine thing to be able to use. I don't think there's anything necessarily inherently wrong going on here, to be completely honest with you. Let's have a look at the reactor's still the same, so that's fine. So I don't think you're really going to be struggling, to be fair. At least on paper, you've got your power increase, which is your skill power and everything like that. Got your cooldown, you've got your extension, you've got your expansion with your range up to max, allowing your contagion to be able to spread the most. We've got decimator to be able to increase our multipliers, which is quite nice. Skill simplification. To be honest with you, I don't really see anything wrong with this. Everything seems pretty fine. You've got your sharp precision shot to be able to help you out with your skill 4. I would recommend that if you do have an extra slot, you could take off like rifling reinforcement, for example, because you're not going to be using your secret garden to be able to actually do damage. You could take something like that off just to be able to make space for brisk walk. Brisk walk will increase the amount of movement speed that you do have. It will make Freyna basically be able to hit movement cap, which is kind of nutty. It's quite fun as to how she can actually be used. That will allow you to be able to dodge a few hits. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything inherently wrong. I think you're all good. I'll tell you what, let's have a... we can give this a go. I'm more than happy to see what we're looking at. Maybe it's just purely for the fact that Axion's new. Maybe it's got really good multipliers or modifiers in terms of like resistances and all that kind of thing. Tell you what, do I have a contagion build going? I do. Toxic amplification control, extension, range. Yeah, it looks fine to me. We can take it in. We can have a look. Do I need 2.7, 4.9? Yeah, it's probably about fine. We'll keep that tree. I will say for your tree with arcade tuning, I'm messing about with this one, mainly because defense neutralization has recently started becoming almost like essential or meta in some cases to actually be able to use on most builds. But you know, that toxic resistance is like shred is actually quite nice. I'm a real change in resistance mechanic is basically non-existent in the actual farms people are doing, so Freyna is still busted. Bunny too. Bunny is going to be a great one to be able to use. I'm expecting my non-crit one I do have kicking around to actually do some real nice work. That being said, against some of the elites, obviously you're going to probably need to run around a few more times and all that kind of thing, but I suppose that's what teammates exist for, right? But went up to the right with my tuning. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, go for the skill power and go for toxic cohesion is a fantastic place to be able to start. I must admit, initially I was just purely gravitating around here for skill cast, for extra range, going into the enhanced skill power, all that kind of thing. Have gone into... Could I actually save a few points here? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could put 2 more points into HP or MP recovery then. Or maybe even hit range. The MP's quite nice though. Because the crit damage is doing nothing for me. Let's do that. So that gives me 2 more points to be able to mess about with. I go HP. What does that put me up to? 11k. Oh, do you know what? I'll take that. I was clearing solo with some mutant cells on Freyna yesterday. Fair enough. Then in that case, I'll tell you what. We do have a Wall Crusher coming up. Do I mess about with that? I suppose I can test it. We can test it in the time that... before Wall Crusher comes active. Fair enough from a drug side. I'm happy to give this a test because I've personally not tried Freyna inside the content just because I wanted to be able to actually mess about with like Backdraft Blair, Serena, Nell. Nell's been the main focus for the last like day for me, basically. Just to be able to actually get to a place where I'm comfortable, be able to test it all out, all that kind of stuff. And absolutely no problems, Rambo. That's honestly not an issue whatsoever. Oh, we've actually got the perfect thing to test this out on. And I haven't got my blooming vehicle equipped. Also, that's the one thing that I'm really... I find the most annoying is the fact that you have to equip the bike on every single one. Let's see what this is doing. So this is Contagion, I believe. It was, wasn't it? Yeah, Contagion. It's taken a few ticks, but it seems fine. I mean, seems fine. I mean, it performed much better than I expected, in all honesty, so... We'll mess about with that after the Wall Crusher. Let's get the Wall Crusher out of the way, and then we can theory test this a little bit more, because I do want to revisit Freyna a little bit more. So let's get... I can do it if you can do it. More build than I am. Fair enough. Like I said, it was one of those that I was a bit, like, skeptical, let's say. Like, I knew Freyna was going to be alright, but I've seen people use Freyna in terms of, like, the random lobbies that I've gone into. And I saw a couple of them, like, just kind of, like, randomly ticking away and all that kind of thing. They might not have been fully built and all that kind of thing. There's definitely things to be said for it. But... you know, it's one of those. Don't run Power Increase or Decimator. Oh, I'm actually kind of curious as to what you do run then. So do you go for like focus on toxic then, I assume? Was that the same build? Yeah, I believe so. I'll go back to it after we've got Wall Crash out of the way, and then you can see what we're doing. And I'll even go into a proper mission so we can actually see the Legion of Reach and all that kind of stuff. Give me the juice damage. Also, one thing that I absolutely love in these lobbies is people running the Enduring Legacy again. And that quenching is huge. There we go. A 7 multi-hit damage. Whew. There we go. Thanks so much for the follow there, Rambino Grey. Nice to see you over here. Right, what kind of damage were we doing? I'm expecting between 2.5 to 3. 2.8. Yeah, I'm happy with that. $3,200 weak point hits. Oh, you gotta love it. Oh, I've just realised I didn't get any rewards. God damn it. Oh, am I supposed to component farm? Let's get out of here. Hey Sam, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, can see stream build? Absolutely, yes. 1 second, I will get out of here so it doesn't like cut me off. Demo damage is more than half the boss fight? Yes, it is. The most I've actually done with this build is 3.7 bill, which is, I think I've seen the community mention there's 4.7 billion total HP. So I was 1 billion short of being able to actually fully kill it. But yes, this build essentially can solo Wall Crusher if you find yourself in that kind of situation. But yes, it's one of those builds. So just to fully recap, just in case Sam hasn't got like an idea as to like how to fully build or anything like that, we'll cover everything. So we'll start with the components because we're on this screen. 2-piece into Ascending will give you skill cost. 2-piece into Shell Crusher will give you the fire race that you need. Just max HP across the board for this is essentially what you want to be able to do more damage with your skill 4. When it comes to Reactor, doesn't matter what type it is, you do want skill duration and skill cooldown. That is going to help you with 100% uptime of your skill 4. When it comes to your Ancient Knight, this is the best in slot weapon to be able to use inside of that fight. In combination with your Inversion Reinforcement, you want Strike Points Amplification, you want Fire Focus Rounds, because that's going to work in nicely in tandem with what your fire damage on your Ancient Knight is already doing. And then you also want Firearm Control Mechanism, which is going to then give you a chance of being able to do much more multi-hit damage, as well as even on level 3, being able to increase your multi-hit chance. With this kind of setup, Ancient Knight can get up to about 200% multi-hit chance, I believe it is, which means that it's going to be proccing twice the bonus damage that you're going to be doing from that. And then, as you saw in the clip just a second ago, we hit a 7.1x multiplier, meaning that we're essentially going to be doing 7.1 times the base damage, and then we're going to be doing that again because of we're over 100% multi-hit chance. So multi-hit damage does seem to be best in slot, at least in my testing so far, because this is going to be stacking up with what you get from your unique effect. So you do have a 0.54x as standard. We're going to be increasing that by 70% based on the core. But when you go into the unique ability effect, because we're going to be increasing the base, because this is additive, we're actually going to get 70% of that on top of that every single time this stacks. So because we can get up to an extra 77% damage multiplier from the stacks here, we actually get another 70% of that. So that's how we're able to stack up to so much damage. When it comes to the build for it, this is what you want. Primarily straight into multi-hit and multi-hit damage. Have aiming is better than rifling reinforcement. Being able to increase your multipliers just gives you so much more damage across the board. But yeah, everything else in here is going to be what you essentially need, so feel free to be able to take screenshots as and when you need. And then when it comes to the Serena build, this is what you're after. Copper Hollow Point is something I'm currently messing about with, so you can knock that off for the time being, but in terms of everything else, that is going to be best in slot. So you want to increase durations, cooldowns. Him is going to be then giving you applying buffs to your teammates while you're dashing around in the air, which is then going to work with the module that we did have on Ancient Knight, which is going to be buffing our damage even higher. Final Wish is going to be making it so that we have so little skill cost, it's just kind of unreal. It allows us to be able to stay in the air for as long as possible. We don't have to worry about dropping down for MP orbs, and then we're just increasing our HP as high as possible. So that's essentially the build. One thing I probably would play about with is maybe HP amplification, because our skill cost is so low. We could probably mess about with going into stim acceleration. No, it's not stim acceleration. Is it stim? Oh, stim accelerant to get a little bit more extra HP. It would equal a little bit more damage when it comes to our skill 4, so that could be something to be able to mess about with. Sorry, excuse me. Kuiper Hollow Points, I'm hoping I can get a better roll sometime soon. That's a good roll on Arcade League, by the looks of things. Yeah. What we got here? That's a point. Base recall increase. Oh, maybe not. Maybe you actually do want a blue roll and a gold roll, because you want to increase your recoil, because its trigger rate is 100% times your recoil. So actually, you don't want gold for Kuiper Hollow Points. You want blue gold. Fair enough. My Serena level 1 not built, I might have to make of it. Yeah, no, 100%. She is literally best in slot for absolutely demolishing Wall Crusher as it currently stands. So, yes. If you haven't before, now is the time to be able to actually start like building her up and everything like that. So, yeah, 100%. Right, so that allows us to be able to swap back over to Freyna. We can start talking about Contagion. What's the difference I had here? It's just the range, by looks things. So, Contagion was working against the mobs that we were going up against for the Meteorite kind of like special event. We'll try her out in a mission. We'll see if maybe all-seeing eye thing that does like the resistances and all that kind of thing. We'll see if that makes any kind of like difference. I'm still expecting Nell to clear faster, just because Nell... Yeah, absolutely no problem, Sam. Absolutely no problem. Yeah, feel free if you need any kind of like questions on how it works, how to play it, other builds or anything like that. If you need me to be able to show off like other things. The only one I haven't got fully built out at the moment is Jaber, I believe. So if you're looking for Jaber now he's had his bit of his buffs and all that kind of thing, then unfortunately that's the only one that I've got a mess about with now, especially seeing as he seems to be clearing what's the new boss called? Storm Chaser, whatever it was. Stormhanger. He seems to be clearing this in around about a minute 30, minute 20, I think it was. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to try that one at some point. Some interesting clear times on that. So far, I'm sitting 22nd on Nell. But I can improve that. I do know that I can improve that. So, well, I mean, quite obviously, people have got faster times. But that's one I'm going to be focusing on. And I do also have a Keelan clear, but I'm not necessarily the fastest on that one. So that'll be for another time. Serena's are doing in a minute. I'm kind of a big fan of these bosses taking a little bit longer now. Freyna's a bit slow. Is that because Ultimate Freyna's doing it faster? Yeah, probably. I'm curious about these VS'er ones though. Being able to actually do it that fast is kind of crazy. 33-second Valby. I don't know. I've yet to actually take on the challenge one just yet, but I'm going to get a few runs under my belt with this first and then start making my way over there. So yeah, just wasn't the biggest fan, but it looks like she's needed now for the boss. Yeah, I mean, if you'd asked me before Season 3 dropped, I haven't touched Serena in... I think I built her out for the first week or two when she first dropped, and then that was it. I just ignored her because she was just that overpowered. It just took away all the fun for me out of the game. So I know a lot of people did enjoy that kind of thing. I enjoyed a little bit more challenge. That's why I like the Season 3 with Axion and everything like that. But yeah, it just wasn't for me. But she's a lot more fun now. She had a little bit of a readjustment and everything like that, and yeah, so she's fine for where she is right now. I'll keep her there. I do think that she is literally the best gun descendant still, which is a bit of a cop out, I suppose. It feels like it should. It would have been nice to have, you know, other options and all that kind of thing, and to be able to mess about with. But it seems like she's the be all and end all when it comes to that. And as we know in the community, if you have something that's so much more and above everything else and all that kind of thing, then why would you use anything else? Makes sense, but kind of sucks that that is the case, I suppose. Let's go try her on a mission. Let's see what this contagion's like.
Descendant, a large cluster of breach creatures has been detected in the area. Breach creature response confirmed.
What kind of damage are we doing? Just let it do its thing. Hop around. Yeah, that's fine. Take that down, because we don't want to be dealing with that. Yep. Contagion's still popping off. Experimentation's still going. Do you know what? It's one of those fire and forgets, it seems.
Descendant, voltage pump traffic is increasing at your location. It looks like Legion of Breach troops have been Vulcan special assault ship identified.
I mean, it seems fine.
Vulcan special assault ship spotted.
Yeah. Does it take like 5 ticks to be able to take down a normal red bar? Yeah, that's fine.
Descendant, requesting takedown of enemy assault ship.
It's just really anticlimactic for a second there. It's completely silent.
Picking up is going to be precipitous. Be careful.
Yeah. There's probably better revolvers to use than malevolence by the looks of things.
Breach follower squad approaching in encircling formation. Respond immediately.
Just best to find the ultimate. Definitely possible. Right. It's so possible I could probably have a check out the chat while I'm doing this. So, honestly, unlocked Serena, got it to level 14 in Shelter. Now I've got to build her up because it seems like Season 3 is for Serena. I wouldn't say that Serena is the go-to for this kind of content, as in like this kind of mobbing. Like she absolutely can do it and all that kind of thing, and it's definitely one of the better ones and all that kind of thing. But there's some missions that require her to go underground, and I don't think it gives her the headroom to be able to like move around or anything like that.
Descendant, primary tactical objective confirmed in operation.
So
Please take it
there's
out.
definitely a case to be made that she's not needed for that kind of like stuff. As for Wall Crusher, 100%. This is now where I'm going to start to... Yeah, I should have brought Perforator.
Serial formation signal.
Perforator would have made more sense. Just cool down, so we'll just do that. Yeah, seems fine. I will try something now. So if we swap that out to Perforator, and then we go to this, and the only difference is that we've... Do I need that, actually? What does that put me up to, range-wise? Yeah, I can do. So we're swapping amplification control for maximize range, so that we have even more range on our stuff and everything like that. The toxic bubbles absolutely do last so long. Skill extension combined with these little nodes right here definitely are doing some wonders right there. So we'll try this way. We'll make it so that we do have all of our damage multipliers active when it comes to like room 0 trauma and decay and all that kind of stuff. And if anyone joins us, then we can have toxic stimulation just to add into it, just to help out the team. We'll see what this is like.
Descendant. A large cluster of breach creatures has
See if
been
this
detected
still
in the
gets the
area.
job done.
Breach creature response confirmed. Approaching location.
I'm expecting it to get kills faster. Might need a few more skill casts. Why did I just take so much damage there?
Focus special assault ship identified.
Yeah, I'd probably...
Descendant. Focus on traffic.
Definitely seems to be getting the kills faster.
It looks like
Which does make
legion of
sense.
breach troops. Focus special assault ship identified.
I've somehow managed to poison the ship, so...
Focus special assault ship spotted.
Oh, Tim, do you know what? You're clearly wasted in whatever job that you currently are, because if you're that good of a detective. No, you're absolutely correct. I am in the UK, yes.
Descendant. Requesting takedown of enemy assault ship.
Come on.
Picking up void mutants. Be careful.
Oh. Feel resistance. Got toxic puddles on you.
Breach follower squad approaching in
Oh, there we
encircling
go.
formation. Gone immediately.
Oh, this one's gonna be a... Oh. Yeah, probably needs a bit more cooldown for relying on skill 4 for the bosses, maybe. But everything else seems...
Focus special assault ship spotted.
Everything else seems fine. Oh no, I've disconnected again. Oh dear. It's getting the job done.
Descendant. Primary tactical objective confirmed in operation.
I mean, if you don't mind me asking, Tim, whereabouts are you from? Because you're that, I wouldn't if you're not in a hurry to visit the UK. Is there a specific part of the UK, I assume? Oh god. No. I assume it's not going to be like Birmingham or something like that. Yeah, it's kind of tickling now. I mean, 515 damage! That's hitting for 550! It's fine now. Oh god. Ow. Yeah. Oh, from Finland. Oh, nice. I've yet to be myself. Huge fan of ancient civilizations, so definitely Stonehenge. Ah, I mean, good call. Even more so now that we've actually got rid of the paint off the Stonehenge, because we had the protesters that decided they would, for whatever reason, paint... Oh, come on. We'll keep you around. Yeah, for whatever reason decided the best way to get their message across was to throw some water-based paint all over Stonehenge. Little people. I'm telling you, it doesn't exist. The tech reactor, the non-attribute tech reactor with skill cooldown and crit damage doesn't exist. It just won't show for me at all. I don't really want to take power increase off to be able to give me a little bit more extra cooldown here. I've already got cooldown here. What am I actually at? I'm at 75. Plague is just best for damage. Could take Decimator off. Try Vet Tactics, but... Oh dear. Oh god. What's going on? Oh. Thanks, Flex. Into self. Never start trying to build theory when you're in there. Why is it set to fire? There's no one doing fire. I'll have to think this one through. Oh god, why did you like so much in? Yeah, the boss is definitely take a beating. There's got to be a way to figure this out. I mean, it's fine. It's on a 20-second cooldown. It's not the worst thing in the world, but... But if I'm using it to take down these swarm sacks and stuff like that... Oh well, it works. That's the important thing. I suppose technically, I'd have to see what the damage difference is. I suppose technically you could run 2-piece Plague, 2-piece Hunter. That'll give it another 4% cooldown. Which knocks it down to around about 20-21 seconds. The other thing we could do is if I took off. There was someone that did a comment in one of my videos for Freyna a few months back, trying to suggest her for Purge, where instead of running Decimator, we ran Multi-Talented, and essentially we cast Toxic Stimulation just before we're about to like finish using the gun, and that then means that we have the cooldown buff ready for when this goes on cooldown. And that brings it down to, oh, for God's sake. There's just no warning. That would then get it onto an 11-second cooldown. We would be missing out on Decimator, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Might be something sussed out. Maybe swapping over to Multi-Talented. Yeah, it's interesting. Essentially, what they hinted at, and what I couldn't really get to work off in the way that they kind of put it to me in a comment was, if you don't activate your C, so if you don't activate your second effect. You won't get the cooldown. So you had to activate it during the ability being out to exist and all that kind of thing, because the cooldown doesn't start until you've actually spent all your bullets. Which is fine. It means that you can't really benefit too much from sharp precision shot in that case, because you're having to activate the defense buff when you're trying to go through everything, and you kind of do need at least one shot left for you to be able to activate the ability. So little. Like I say, it doesn't go on to cooldown until you go to put the gun away. It might be the way we have to play it now, maybe? I don't know. Might be something to test. But it's just to get around the elites, I suppose. So... But this isn't something you should be running solo primarily anyway. There's swings and roundabouts for it, I think. Could definitely suggest both. Yeah, have to sacrifice a little to get the cooling. You also need to understand the skill rotation, because if you forget about it, you're not going to get the benefit of multi-talented. But also, if you're spamming the rest of your skills because they're tech, you'll then also be getting a different bonus instead of the skill cooldown. So you've actually got to be quite mindful. It's like hyper-focus in that sense. Like, you've got to be mindful about what kind of buff you do have, and when it's active and when you can get away with it and all that kind of stuff. Tell you what, let's speed runs clearing some of these reactors, and then we'll get out of here, because otherwise they're going to restart another one. There we go. Right. Because if I've already got the slot, I could... I mean, I've got the catalyst, so I'm happy to give that a go and actually just to see if it actually does work. That will get it down to an 11-second cooldown, which is fine. Well, Tim, be careful. You got to, you know, with your words there, because oh. I've never actually gone into this screen before. Interesting. My ranking here. Interesting. How do I get score? Oh, is it scored building up to that? Ah, okay. It's an interesting new medal. Dimensional breach stabilization, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, be careful, because Jaber is clearing the brand new Void Intercept battle quite quickly. As you can see here, in a minute. And you kind of, these aren't going to be all cheaters, because there is pages and pages of people all doing it around this. So Jaber's recent, not rework, I suppose. He's had a bit of a buff. He's actually quite strong now. So don't know what to tell you. I do need to build him though. I need to start catalysing him again and all that kind of thing. What was I going to do? Ah, yes. I don't have the slot in there just yet. Can I move things around? No is the answer. Okay. We'll give it a go. Haley Lepic. Haley's had a bit of a change, I suppose. Haley got a nice buff in the hotfix not too long ago. She was quite decent for. What was it? She had a skill 1 buffed up and everything. It's a shame that she's still got the movement speed penalty, but she did have a skill 1 buffed up, and there was clips going around of her being used with Peacemaker to be able to absolutely burst and spam down Deathstalker. So she's feeling better, but yeah, no, I do agree that she's still missing a little bit something. I would like to see her actually get a movement speed buff. I think in this day and age, with how current Descendants are and all that kind of stuff, shouldn't be getting movement speed penalties, especially seeing as Glaze had hers taken away. As for Lepic, no, I'm 100% for Lepic getting a buff. The guy absolutely needs something. He's one of the more kind of standard but fun characters to be able to play as well. So I would like to see him actually get a buff. Have they started this mission? No. Right. Okay. So just to test, if we press Z, gives us a sophistication, which, and then if we end that, there we go. So that puts it down to, oh, I've missed the buff. No, wrong thing again. There we go. Puts it down to an 11-second cooldown. So that means that we can spam this quite freely. The main thing we've got to keep in mind is can't really use sharp precision shot. That's fine because I haven't got that included. I've got my magazines, got my brisk walk, so we're all good there. Or can we use sharp precision shot? Can we activate the skill before it disappears? No, it's better to actually just keep it that way, I think. Go on.
Descendant, a large cluster of breach creatures has been detected in the area. Breach creatures multiplying. There must be a colony.
And the fact that we do also have multi-talented means that we can also benefit from the cooldown on these abilities as well. To remember is before we get rid of this, go. Activate cooldown.
Vulcan special assault ship identified.
I mean, this might be the way.
Descendant, Vulcan's comms traffic is increasing at your location. It looks like Legion of Breach troops.
Like general, you don't need to worry about the cooldown maybe.
Special assault ship identified. Vulcan special assault ship spotted.
Yeah, general mobbing you can probably get away with it like this.
Descendant, requesting takedown of enemy assault ship.
And then as you start getting to a big cluster of enemies, activate defense, spam, 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 activate defense, spam. As you're nearing the end of your mag,
Enough voice.
activate,
Be careful.
and then back in 11 seconds.
Breach follower squad approaching in encircling formation. Spawn immediately.
It's probably a good thing not to have sharp precision shot when these enemies are so tanky when you're going to be doing this all the time. Ah, I missed it. Missed the timing. So yeah, you can't cast it while you're putting the gun away. Otherwise, what a chat message to read. Oh man, I need the background. Just
Descendant, primary tactical objective confirmed in Operation Zone. Please take it out.
away. It's a little slow, but gets the job done. Probably is the thing. I'm assuming we can't. Your arcade tech as well, yeah. That would have been nice. Yeah, that's probably the way to run Freyna in terms of as it currently stands, until something else comes along. Hi Nivict, thank you so much for the follow. Really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the stream. It did seem more effective for the big guy. Yeah, no, 100%. The fact that you can just... I put mine manually away, and the fact that I could have chose to keep that out, fire a few more shots, and then go about it. You just need to make sure that before you get down to around about 5 bullets, because you have a 5-second duration. As long as the cooldown triggers within that window, you then get it for the full duration of that coming back. So I think as long as you do it, but when you're within like maybe even 10 bullets, as long as you're within that kind of side of things, then yeah, you get the cooldown. You get it on an 11-second cooldown, and then you get these down to a 2.5-second cooldown and a 1.1. I mean, with this kind of setup, I'd be surprised if Freyna doesn't actually make it back into meta talk and relevancy and all that kind of thing. So, interesting. Anyway, so yeah, everything's all going well this side. Absolutely loving it. Yeah, this is a first-time stream for the channel. So, you know, apart from the tech issue where it's just purely showing Twitch chat and it's not showing the combined chat and the multi-chat and all that kind of thing, apart from that, it's actually going really, really well. Thank you so much. I hope everything's all good to your side. How's your weekend treating you? With Serena, do you have to constantly spam a flight skill to stay in flight? No. So, looks like we can... I'll tell you what, let's get out of this arena just in case someone decides they want to farm the crater. So when it comes to Serena, if you're going to be going into like Warcrasher or something like that, you'll want to use your grapple to be able to get the most height. That will also be able to get you into position ready for once he comes into his spawn animation, everything like that. Because we're not using multi-talented, we can get away with just activating skill for skill 2 just like that. It's going to be draining my MP just because I haven't got my skill 4 active just yet and I'm not hitting anything, but so you want to make sure you've got this active. If you need extra distance, if you need extra speed, you can absolutely do your grapple melee to be able to launch yourself so far across and all that kind of thing, absolutely. But the main thing that you're going to be doing to stay in flight is going to be double jumps. And then also using combination of your skill 3, which is going to be this. If you don't press any direction, that will just launch you straight into the air, but it also gives you your double jump back again. But if you do it in a direction... don't know why I activated my bike there, but if you do it in a direction, it will launch you in that direction. The longer you hold down the button, the more it will launch you in that direction as well. And then, yeah, with your double jump, you can also give yourself that extra little jump and a little bit of boost height. If you want to mix in with like your grapple hook, feel free. Also a great way of being able to do it. But yeah, that's how you essentially fly around with Serena. To be able to go around that kind of like movement tech and all that kind of thing. So... I think this is going to be my main. From there, we'll put that on there. We'll take off Voltia. What do we use? I suppose the last dagger's not a bad shout. We'll use my generic one that's got rounds per mag. Oh, even better, we've got access to Quantum Domain as well. Great. And we'll save that over Toxica. Then we can always just come back to this. So yeah. If it's still very relevant? Oh, yeah, no, 100%. To be fair, Freyna's always been, like, near the top for me. I've argued certain times that she's better than Inez. Sometimes incorrectly. But, I just prefer Freyna, that's just me. Inez is fine, Inez is strong, but me personally, I'm more of a Freyna, just chuck your ability and then just let her do the work. So who's your current go-to, who's your current main, who are you currently messing about with in terms of Season 3? Oh, of course, it's the one that's got a bloody point. Eugen, that's an interesting one. You don't hear too many Eugens around here.
Fantastic. I knew I could count on you.
I'm curious about Ultimate Eugen, to be fair. Oh, I need to interrupt that. Let's go take out these colossi. And let's use Nell, or Nelly the Elephant, as I like to call her. The amount of healing I've had to do in the new raids and the new set is OP. I was really hoping it would be something good for Eugen, to be fair. Because Lord knows the guy needs it. But I'm glad to hear that. Basically just an unlimited heal and spam, skill spam now for him? Well, I mean, fair enough. That's... I mean, he needed something. It's one of those that, you know, we were hoping that we would get the content for him to actually come out, and Wallcrusher definitely seems like it's along that kind of side of things. Hopefully we get something a little bit more to juice that up. Cool. Get that done. One day I'll find the perfect reactor for her. Today is just not that day. I'm not in the market for any tomb sets. Get rid of all that. I'll reset this. Oh, damn it. There we go. Unlock that, unlock that, unlock that. There we go. Got those capstones going. We'll put that on. We'll put... None of those are any good, but at least that's nil. How did you say to send this to presets? Dumb question. Yeah, so you've got this button over here for preset. I've bought a few just because when I was making builds and going back and forth between them all, it was just so much easier to actually use this preset thing. So you can buy more from clicking this button here. But if you want to be able to save something in a certain section, you find a slot, click on it, and then you've got save current settings, and it will save your fellow, your vehicle, your current components, your setting for your inversion, your reactor, what current mob that you're currently on, along with your arcade tuning, and then also all the weapons and everything like that. So if you click save, overwrites it, and then if you just want to be able to swap back and forth between different things, you can click on another one, and then if you're playing on PC, you can press F, and it will apply the preset. It will then tell you auto dismantle has been enabled because you've activated a fellow, and then you can swap, and everything is just all set up for you. It saves so much time and hassle. I have seen other people that have like absolutely filled out these boards, and they have every single build for every single descendant like saved across the preset, so they can just swap back and forth. You don't necessarily need that, not in the most cases or anything like that. But you know, if you can save one of the builds and all that kind of thing for every single descendant, you can just swap them back and forth between them all like that. So anything like that. But you can't do that much as my main. When I don't need an actual clear character. It's nice to feel like it was in the days when a healer was needed. Completely agree. There were days when we were facing Pyromancer and... Pyromaniac and... it is just Ice Maiden, isn't it? No, what's the... Dead Bride. These one in particular, back in the early days when you actually needed a healer and all that kind of thing. Yeah, no, 100%. I do miss those. But yeah, when it was needed, unless you hit a full Serena party, but mind you, still have to heal them a lot. Yeah, that's fair. It's definitely one of those nowadays. Not needed as much, but I'm hopeful with Colossus, with Warcrusher coming through, that we'll actually start seeing and start having gravitating towards that kind of content, actually needing it going forward. So fingers crossed. But I like what they're doing, Warcrusher. I do think it's a bit basic, but I like what they're doing. Hopefully they go right. The community responded well. We'll build upon that for the future. So that's my hope anyway. Is anyone else noticing in Axion planes you're not always able to dismantle reactors? So another bug. Can't say I've had that one. I mean, I've always tried to dismantle a reactor, and then, like, sometimes when I'm zipping through, it won't select it for scrapping. I've had that, but I haven't had it where it just refuses to dismantle a reactor. Is that what you mean, Pussy? Draco Wolf, thank you so much for the follow. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you're all well. We've almost got that capped out, so that's fine. Yeah, everything's all looking good. We'll do another wall crusher. 2 and a bit minutes. What can we do in that time? What are we up to material-wise? Well, I can go make another Axion crystal. And then I can... don't think I've got the slot made. Yeah, so I can then put something on Freyna and we can start building her out. So let's do that. I do feel for you, Percy, considering you're the one that's telling me mostly about these bugs. It's a bit sorry to hear, in all honesty. I do wish I had some better information to be able to give you. I know it's not my fault, but I still feel a little bit guilty that I just can't help you out.
New research. I'm listening.
Woohoo! Another energy activator. Fantastic. That'll probably take me up to 16. Yeah, we could let that cook for a little bit. We could do a few missions and then we could put something on Freyna. And just take the day from there. It's happened to me a couple of times when I click a reactor I want to dismantle, that orange trash bin does not appear. Yeah, I've I've done it. I don't know if it's necessarily me, like I've just been really quick and I've just like not been, like the game hasn't registered that I've pressed a button. I just always put it down to that, to be completely honest with you. But maybe there's just some kind of like delay. Maybe it's just that I know I've had it in the past, but like, that's why I thought it was down to me before Season 3 actually happened. Not very often, but I have had it happen. So maybe there's something going on there. But you still like to play it deeply. Well, that's the important thing, isn't it? At the end of the day, so that's the main takeaway from all of this, and then we can build from there, I suppose. Right, let's go. 29 seconds until he's here. So we can do another run. What's going on? Yeah, nothing important going on there. Oh, 2 orange boxes. Just switch those. The bundle we are. Whoop. Oh, so it's just flat out refusing. It's not like just like a momentary delay where it's just not done it. It's just flat out going, no. Damn right it's ball crusher time. We're gonna see if we can push over 3 bill again. We'll have to see how many Serenas exist in this one. I mean, heck, I'd happily take a solo one at this point. We've got a few Serenas. Left leg, because that's the easiest one to hit. He's crouching. Someone is using the restored relic. I just saw it come up saying ancient fire. It's interesting. And that should do it. Is it going to be around between 2.5 and 3 again? Oh, it's just shy. Well, we did have 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 of the Serenas that we were competing against. Not really a new fan of the sound side. Is it because of the gun shooting, or is it because of me actually hitting weak points? Because the amount of bullets that I've had to put into weak points is just kind of stupid. And every single one of them going... Ding, 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 ding. Did I get rewards that time? Nope. No rewards. Nope. Still bugged. Are you using Jordan Egg C and only aim for weak points? I mean, to be honest with you, that's actually a fantastic strategy. Most people, because Ancient Knight is one of the best weapons to actually take into it, and because that's natively built into fire attack, and most people will then lean into it more with fire enhancement, inversion reinforcement, and go for 5 focus rounds and all that kind of thing. You're still actually helping out quite nicely because you're reducing the amount of resistance that the boss has through enhanced focus rounds when you actually get it on your inversion reinforcement, along with quenching and everything like that. It is a fantastic thing to be able to actually put onto that boss. So it's definitely not overshadowed in any kind of sense of the word. If you are on the ground and you're playing Eugen, or if you're playing something that's a little bit more supportive, even if you're playing Ajax, for example, as long as you're taking Enduring Legacy, you're still actually helping out with that fight because you're doing a decent amount of damage, but you're also helping by reducing the amount of resistance that boss has, perfect for the Serenas that are going in with Ancient Knight. So, yeah, absolutely worth it, definitely, 100%. Yeah, one of the better guns that you can actually take in. Now, do I go and speed up that? Do you know what? For the sake of it,
Descendant, I've picked up a mutant material formation signal in the skies nearby.
you've tried to support even when supporting. Well, yeah, you like support so much that you've supported while you're supporting with our support, and you're there for moral support. Eugen is the ultimate support, and I can't wait for him to actually get his ultimate and just see what he's actually going to do for the game. Right, let's... Just because it's stream, and I do want to be able to mess about with it before we call it for the day.
Don't you think?
For 3 caliber, I'm gonna speed this up. I've noticed that Wall Crusher's good is dropping a very wide area, so I always drive around, make sure that I've collected them all. Your fellow won't collect them all. I recommend doing this. Yeah, that's a very good tip. I will say that they do need to be able to make it consistent so they actually do drop all the rewards in the first place. But let's do it on Freyna. Right, what can we get to work with her? So Arcade Leak works on everything, which is the one that fully drains all of her MP when it's used. Power Beyond is the one that inflicts toe, but it also increases skill power. Death by 1,000 cuts. Hold on. Explosive projectile. So 3 casts would then cause... It's going to work on skill cast. It's not going to work on... So maybe Death by 1,000 cuts isn't the way. Having a hard time working out what these half of these do. Yeah, no, I get you. I want to mess about with Arcade Leak, but I'm pretty confident I've seen a clip that the MP cost per attack is every single damage over time instance. And with Freyna, that instantly drains all of your MP. So the skill power modifier increase would be huge if it wasn't for the fact that it fully drains your MP every single time you cast it. I mean, the skill power increase of Power Beyond is a good place to start, I would imagine. Death by 1,000 cuts requires you to spam your abilities a little bit much, which we can do with multi-talented if we did go for our skill 2 with Toxic Stim. What does this one do again? Does MP Collector counter it? In a sense, but because it's you're not instantly killing the enemies, or maybe you will do with that increase to the modifier, but because you're not instantly killing them, you're not gaining it back fast enough to be able to then before it drains it and everything. So it's weird. Which one does this one do? Particle transmission converts into emission at back stacks, deals additional damage to skill power when attacking an enemy. Is that just a buff that helps us? It's not on the skill? And then the skill can do damage because when we're getting hit it's applying that, so... weird one. Just because it's going to be funny, let's use Arcade Leak. Because I think it's going to drain all our MP. And Udin does no damage with the skill. I think Particle Conversion Emitter might do something interesting, but because it's also helping allies as well by the sounds of things, because it's, if you heal an ally, it's granting the transmission. I'd need someone to test that one out with, but I'm not interested in that just yet. Let's be honest, it's all about damage, isn't it? So when it comes to Freyna, it's either going to be Arcade Leak, depending on how much it saps of your MP, or it's going to be Power Beyond just for that skill power increase. Which is good. There's a very nice solid increase, to be fair. Only one way to find out, I suppose. Let's go to the crater and let's give it a spam. Rambo being running multi-talented, and it's so much nicer having a cooldown for the 4 you suggested when needed to carry for the boss at the end. Yeah, no, I'm glad that worked out. It's clearly a new way for us to be able to actually run Freyna. It's going to require people to just pay attention though. Because if you don't activate it before your skill 4 goes away, then you're not getting any kind of benefit. Which, it's still on a 26-second cooldown, so it's not the end of the world, but... Alright, go on then, let's see what happens to our MP bar here.
Descendant, requesting takedown of enemy assault ship.
And there it goes. Oh dear. This might come as a shock. I don't think this is the play. But then saying that, the damage is kind of nice. It's 350k's over there. Well, my MP's gone now.
Total squad approaching in encircling formation. Spawn immediately.
Oh, if I had some MP, I'd do something about you. Oh, every single shot also drains my MP. Fantastic. This is not the way. And MP's gone again. Like, why? I mean, maybe MP Collector could make us, but then I'd have to find a space into the build to be able to... That's so weird.
Descendant, primary tactical objective confirmed in operation zone. Please take it out.
I can't activate the ability? Yeah. Damage is nice, but I don't think this is... It's got my game. Oh, there's my MP. So you only get the damage boost as long as your MP bar can take something out of it. And then it goes on cooldown. Not for Freyna. It's a shame, but no, I just... So it's kind of cool. We're definitely getting a skill buff across the board, because that was only doing 1.1 mil. So, skill buff's quite nice. Okay. That's quite fun.
Vulcan special assault ship identified. Vulcan special assault ship spotted. Descendant, requesting takedown of enemy assault ship.
Yeah. I think that's the way.
I picked up a mutant material formation signal in the sky of the eye. Descendant, primary tactical objective confirmed in Operation Zone. Please take it out.
Oh dear. Seems fine. Ah, I see what you mean. Oh, god damn it.
Bogus mental assault is identified.
Just put that on the floor.
Descendant, bogus comms traffic is increasing at your location. It looks like Legion of Breach troops have been deployed.
Just get rid of a few of these. There we go.
Bogus mental assault is identified. Picking up point
she follow me. Alright. Well, I think I might have to call things there. No, this has been great. Thank you so much for taking part in the stream. I'm now going to focus on sorting out some video stuff, ready for the channel, so hopefully get something out this evening. But yeah, this has been fantastic. Thank you all so much for making my first stream memorable. I appreciate you all stopping by. Appreciate everyone in the chat and everything like that. And it's been great. If I do find time, maybe I'll actually go live a little bit later on today. If not, possibly will be next weekend at this rate. But I'll keep everyone informed if that does actually change over on the YouTube. Of course, anyone that's over on the Twitch, if you're not aware of me, I'm over on the YouTube. I do builds for the First Descendant and guides. Pretty much cover everything for pretty much almost all Descendants and everything like that. So yeah, you can catch me over there as well as all my community stuff. You can also find my Discord over there if you're interested. But I really do appreciate everything you've done so far. I will help out Tim for the component set for Serena. Forgot to write them down. There you go. 2-piece ascending, so I would recommend the auxiliary and also the sensor, and then 2-piece for the shell crusher. Everything to do with defense as well as MP recovery across the board. I don't have my out of combat for ascending armory, but let's be honest, you're not going to be out of combat when it comes to the bossing anyway, so it doesn't matter too much when it comes to that role, but ideally you would actually want that. Leak in 400% is counted with MP collector, but not as much damage. Oh, in that case, I'll have to. I'll definitely give that a test. But yeah, definitely, that's something I'll have a look into. Not a gamer. Oh, thank you so much for the Sharon build. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome. It's one of my favourite builds that exists in this game currently. I'm going to be working my way to getting one of these trigger module things for her. So she's actually going to be my next one that I'm going to put into a trigger module and then mess about with. And then see what that actually does for her purge build. But I absolutely love Sharon as well as Ultimate Viessa for going through that. So, yeah, you've tuned in just as I was about to finish the stream. But I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I do appreciate you stopping by and letting me know, telling me about how much you love the Sharon build. Really do appreciate that. Yeah, so thank you all so much for taking part. Really does mean a lot to me. And yeah, I guess I'll see you on the next stream. I'm going to definitely do this one again. So have a nice rest of your weekend, and I'll see you around.